the background. You want to just keep it natural.
Yeah, I thought I'll try something different, but I've never done this.
It looks good, Sanjay. It looks good.
And webinar is also live on YouTube as well. So
Actually, it's looking a bit weird. We are still not started, right? We have 2 minutes.
No,
yeah,
we
just
have
some,
1 minute.
yeah. So Amrita, you can remove the this holding slide. Yeah, you can remove this. Yeah, yeah. So it's always good to see everybody here. All right. So may I request, if it is not inconvenient, I mean, if we can just mute ourselves, I'll just go ahead. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome. It is 4 and we are on time. Life has taken a 360-degree turn in the last few months. And what we thought would be a situation that would last probably a few months is now running into years. We have all blended in what is being called the new normal lifestyle. And this lifestyle comes with its own pros and cons. What is, however, notable is that people are now focusing a lot on self-development and comfort. And of course, our homes have been taking a center stage. People now feel the need to have things at the touch of their fingers, and that is probably why smart automation is gaining popularity. On this occasion, sorry, just if somebody can mute themselves, be brilliant. Just mute, rest of you, mute your mic, please. All right. On this occasion, it gives me immense pleasure to have gotten the opportunity to collaborate with one of the most forward-thinking, agile, and futuristic brands in the electrical segment, Polycab. Polycab has been a market leader with a revenue of over 88 billion, making them the largest manufacturers of wires and cables in India, and is also the fastest growing FMEG player. Today, I'm delighted to be seated amongst some of the most prominent names in the industry and welcome you all to this very special panel. A very warm welcome to architect Sanjay Puri, one of the leading architects of the country and one of the most innovative and forward-thinking architects I have ever known. Mr. Rahija, a dear friend and the young gun who's leading one of the most prestigious real estate companies in India. Sumish Menon, a trendsetter when it comes to design. Architect Seema Puri, absolutely phenomenal. And most importantly, we have Mr. Manoj Verma, Chief Operating Officer, Polycab India. The product that we are going to unveil today is going to revolutionize the way we look at smart automation called Home. It's a homegrown portfolio from the house of Polycab, developed on an indigenous platform and 100% manufactured in India. Ladies and gentlemen, without taking much of your time, I'm going to hand over the conversation to Manoj. Just a little surprise for all our lovely viewers. We have 3 prizes to give away at the end of this session, and these are the gift hampers from Polycab, the hints of which are hidden in the conversation to follow. So keep those cell phones aside and all eyes on the screen. Over to you, Manoj.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Vibhor. And first and foremost, thank you everyone for having got on board and found out time for this 1-hour session, which I'm sure is going to be experiential. And it's going to be something that you've been wanting, especially in the new normal of work from home, where homes have become perhaps the world for all of us. So without much ado, I would like to take you on to an experiential journey, which would be the next 6 to 8 minutes of visual and product delight that I bring to the table. So can we have the AV, please?
Sound.
Sound is not coming.
Yeah. Amrita, can I have the sound, please? Can you do it again, please?
Alexa, open curtains. Imagine a lifestyle tailor-made to pamper you. Introducing the Home Smart Automation Solutions from Polycab, which transforms your house into an intelligent home, where intelligence is aesthetic, where functionality meets efficiency. Where comfort knows the warmth you wish for. Where technology spins a tale of tranquility. Where romance is orchestrated at your command. An integrated system which lets you control your home from any part of the world. Alexa, turn sleep mode on. Now, set the desired ambience, set daily schedules, and quite importantly, monitor your power consumption. Now, give your home the aesthetics it aspires and the intelligence it deserves with home automation solutions from Polycab.
So that's about the first glimpse of what home as a portfolio from the house of Polycab brings you as an experience. Amrita, can I have the presentation, please? What I would do is I would very quickly in the next maybe 5 to 6 minutes walk you through what is it and how is it that we could create the kind of visual experience that you just saw in that precisely 1 hour 55-second film. And that is the genesis and that is the hypothesis basis which the last 9 months was spent in the kitchens of Polycab in creating home as a portfolio, which promises each and every consumer, each and every designer a life elated. And how do you do that? The next slide, please. All we are saying as far as home is concerned is we are not talking of a product portfolio that Polycab brings you on the table, but it is an experience that Polycab brings you via the heroes, which are the products, experience of an elevated convenience, an elevated comfort, and an elevated lifestyle. With the last year and a half almost, where most of us are spending most of our time at home, home has become the center stage of the action, whether official, professional, or personal. And home is a portfolio that brings you the experience. How does it do that? It helps you by allowing you to design a living space that obeys your command. It allows you to control the comfort, convenience, and also the entertainment. And most of it all, it is a system or it is a platform that allows you to align, to operate, to manage any time of the 24-hour cycle and from any place across the globe. How does it do that? Apart from the manual touch screens that are there and the touch panels that are there, we also have a patented and a homegrown mobile app, which is both iOS and Android compatible. So there is a home app which allows you to align and configure all the electrical appliances in a home and allows you the experience of ease in operation and control. It is also voice activated and voice controlled. So if you have Alexa, you have Google Home, you could also operate and configure the entire equipment and the platform through voice. Next slide, please. So what does Home offer? Home basically is nothing but a platform which has brought about various aspects of the performance and the operation of electrical appliances via smart controls. By smart controls, I mean a mobile app which has become a partner for life, a mobile. It offers you everything and anything that you would want to do with the electrical gadgetry at home. So smart controls from the point of view of a mobile app, voice assistant. This is a platform that allows you to create scenes, which means it could draw curtains, it could set the air conditioning at a particular temperature, set lighting scenes, and also activate security systems in a home in case you're not around. So it allows you to create scenes which can be personalized to the personal needs of each individual occupant of a home, and then allow you to use it the way you want to. This is a platform that allows you time scheduling from the point of view of the fact that if you want electrical gadgetry to operate at certain points in time, then you can configure it and schedule it to operate the way you want to. Last but not the least, the most unique feature that this particular platform offers you is it is retrofit. So if you have electrical gadgetry that you have at home, which is not smart, we have products in the package that you can plug on these conventional devices to and make them intelligent. Next slide, please. So what is the portfolio of products via which home as an experience is being brought to the table? There is a range of fans and appliances. There are lighting and fixtures. There are switches. There is a IR blaster. There are smart plugs and many more evolving solutions that we are working at the moment. Next, please. For the first time, we have come out with integrated smart switch panels, which are touch, which are voice activated, which are manual, which are retrofit in existing junction boxes that you have. And they come in variety of configurations, 2 module, 4 module. Plus, we are here to offer you a range of finishes depending on the kind of walls and depending on the kind of interiors that you have. So it is a full function smart integrated switch panel, which offers you flexibility of configuration of the existing or new equipment that you may install at home. Next, please. The IR blaster, which is by far the backbone of the architecture. Now, this small little black box is a black box that offers you flexibility of integrating or matching up over 80,000 electrical appliances being sold across the world, which are remote controlled. The remote controls of all these equipments, irrespective of brand and country of origin, can be patched up with this home IR blaster, and you can then make the entire equipment array in your home voice enabled via the IR blaster. The smart plug, as I said earlier, you have functional products, you have normal conventional products in a home. All you need to do is plug them in via this smart plug and they become smart and they become adaptable to your home app, and you can then operate and manage them the way you want to. Next slide, please. A range of geysers, which again are smart. Here, you can create temperature settings. There is also a possibility that we'll offer over a period in time where, depending on your personal preferences and your usage pattern over a period in time, you can, via AI, configure the geyser to heat the water up to a temperature basis the proximity of the mobile, which is identifiable to a particular user. So we have a full function platform which offers you all the flexibility that you would need in a geyser. Next, please. Lighting, there is a range of downlighters, there is a range of smart panels, both surface and recessed. You offer dimming, you offer on-off, you offer daylight linking, and we are also working at providing the circadian rhythm where the lighting would offer you linkage with the human circadian cycle. So human-centric lighting is what we've been talking about. This is a platform which will allow you to align the lighting system to the circadian cycle, whereby it offers you creation of sunlight at any point of the day or night. So you have a range of smart panels. There are buttons. Next, please. A bulb for homes which have wall brackets, homes which have pendants. There is an array of bulbs where again you have an RGB configuration that you can configure based on your personal liking. While the individual product is smart, you can via the app group them in a particular interior and thereby create scenes the way you would want them. Next, please. In fans, the first product is the home stoves, where what we at Polycab have done is we are offering two configurations. There is a present technology of fans which is using an induction motor, so we can make the existing fans smart via electronic controller that can be retrofitted onto the fan. And second is the intelligent fan. What additional features the intelligent mode offers you in the fan is the fan has a temperature sensor. So it senses the temperature in the room and varies the speed depending on the temperature so that there is a comfort. The second step towards intelligence in the fan would be, we would link the fan and the air conditioner so that you are able to maintain the temperature that you require in the room and also ensure there is energy saving. And the last mode, which was very unique that we were able to figure out, is the electronics has an algorithm which varies the speed of the fan in an unpredictable manner. The intention here is to offer you a nature mode, which is sort of recreating breeze coming into your home from the window, which is unpredictable. So you can have the fan operating in a mode whereby you feel as if you're sitting out in the open and you can feel the nature. Next, please. The second generation of the fan that we have ready is using the new technology of motor, which is where you can reduce the energy consumption by 50%. So while a conventional fan would offer 70 watts of consumption, this is a fan that can operate at 32 with a full function, voice activated, Alexa, Google Home, mobile app, plus the manual override, because there is still a need in the Indian context of a manual intervention option that a consumer asks for. Next, please. So this was a very quick snapshot of the products. Now, why home? What are the features? One, all the home products talk to each other. Second, you can have a geofencing feature whereby you can have your mobile configured, your mobile app configured via a geofencing, wherein if you create a scene of the curtains, the lighting, the air condition, the fan and the geyser, based on your personal requirement, the moment you are within 500 meters or a kilometer radius of your home, this particular mode gets activated. So by the time you get home, the entire house is configured to your personal requirement. Lighting is intelligent to the extent that it can sense the time of the day. As I said, human-centric lighting. So it can sense and align. Similarly, there are fans, as I said, which are fans with intelligence, which can sense and align. And last but not the least, the plugs, which offer you a very simple adaptation of conventional products to turn intelligent. Next, please. While those were the product features that were there, the biggest advantage is all these products can be controlled via a single app. Now, a typical question that the consumer would have in the Indian context today is, how does Polycab support us in terms of customer service? So we have already created a customer care team, which provides service not as after sales, but service from the point you have an intent to buy, through selection, through purchase, through installation, and through maintenance over life. While the products have a warranty for a fixed period, we are also offering an extended maintenance package via an average AMC, which can be firmed up based on the customer need, depending on the package that you have. Also, this particular platform offers you a very clear configuration where the me factor of an interior is given dominance, whereby each member of the home can configure the electrical installation basis his or her requirement and make it work the way he or she wants it. Next, please. What we did was, for the ease of designers and for the ease of consumers, we have created standard configurations in 4 different levels: basic, silver, gold, and platinum. The intention here is, depending on the segmentation of the project, the size of the apartment, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, and the kind of features that a consumer may want or a designer may want to put into a particular project. There are standard package solutions which are available as ready reckoners. We also have the ability of uploading your AutoCAD drawing onto a software that we have, whereby if you tell us, give us the electrical distribution of your apartment, we can tell you what kind of a basic silver, gold, or platinum solution configuration with bill of material and a budgetary estimate that you would need to invest to get the home as a digital home with the home package. Next slide, please. So we have done standard modules for a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. So if you really see, this is not a platform we have created meant only for the bungalows and the villas. Starting from a basic unit for a 1 bedroom, which is about 35,000 rupees, you can go to a 4 bedroom platinum solution, which is about 315,000 rupees. So you have all kinds of permutation combinations that are available, that can be configured via a team of professionals that we have ready on call for you 24/7. Next slide, please. While we already have, I have shared with you the products. The phase 2 is going to be curtain motors, gas leak sensors from security, occupancy sensors, CCTV IP cameras, audio video door phones, smart door locks, and some lighting products. So once we have this, I can assure you from the house of Polycab, we will be in a position, by far the only brand in the country to be in a position to give you a complete end-to-end solution of home automation from the time you enter the home, opening the smart door lock, to the operation of all the entire electrical gadgetry at home. So that's about what I wanted to share. Next slide, please. So when we say home, we are not talking of a product, we are talking of an experience of owning, an experience of installation, an experience of enjoying, and an experience of living life elated. That's what I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Well. What a treat, Mr. Verma. Absolutely floored and devoured every moment of the presentation. It's truly a path-breaking solution and very pertinent and imperative in these times. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you are eager for the panel discussion, but let me very quickly bring in Mr. Nilesh Malani, a passionate marketer, our sales leader, and the President and Chief Marketing Officer of Polycab India, to do the honors of launching the Home by Polycab website. Nilesh, we are all ready for the big reveal. Amrita, can we have, Nilesh, can you please join us?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks, Vibhor, and good evening, everyone. Once again, welcome you all on behalf of Polycab. Delighted to be amongst the elite group of architects in the city. I'm pleased to launch the home website from Polycab in presence of such esteemed guests. If you can just help me launch the website, please. Yeah. So the home website is tastefully designed so that the consumers can engage and experience the products and their features through a mobile icon, which you can see on the home page. The website covers the 6 products, which are the smart fans, smart lights, the designer switches, water heaters, air blasters, and the smart plug. And we would be keep adding the new range whenever we launch those products in the market. I'm sure this modern range of home products and experience, it will make consumers' life easy and peaceful. At the same time, will suit their taste on aesthetics. So on behalf of Polycab India, I thank you again once all for valuable participation. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks.
Thank you, Nilesh. That is incredible. And I'm sure our panelists would agree. Home is the present and the future of smart home. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, allow me to bring in and hand the baton to our moderator, Sumish Menon. the editor of Architect Interiors India, one of the ITP Group flagship publications, and even if I may say myself, one of the most respectable industry-focused magazines on architecture and interior design in the industry. Sumisha herself has incredible experience and has been writing on architecture and interiors for over 13 years. I'm going to let her take it from here. Over to you, Sumisha.
Thank you so much, Bibhor, for the kind words, and congratulations, Polycab India, for the launch of this revolutionary product. And a very, very warm welcome to all our panelists today. Most of you really don't need an introduction, and as much as I say about y'all is probably going to be little, but I'm just going to try and say a few lines about you just to give a little context to the situation. The topic that we're going to discuss today is smart technologies for smart homes. And architect Sanjay Puri is definitely one you would look up to when it comes to being a forerunner in architecture and design. He's the principal architect of Sanjay Puri Architects, the only architectural firm worldwide to win awards in 2 future project categories at the World Architecture Festival. He has worked with the top developers in the city, be it Lodha, Kalpataru, Rustamji, and his projects span the globe. Our next panelist, Mr. Ram Rahija, is the current CEO and the 3rd generation promoter of the IS Rahija Group, a leading real estate developer and builder in Mumbai. What a lot of people don't know is that Mr. Rahija is also a trained architect and an alumnus of the School of Art Institute of Chicago. Welcome, Mr. Rahija. Next on the panel is Sumish Menon, known as the Hospitality Design King of India. Right from Kiba to Coco to Yazoo to Food to Farzi Cafe, all the funky hospitality spaces that we are missing right now are designed by Sumish. Besides restaurants, Sumish also designs homes, or I must say, uber luxury residential projects that are just as swank and breathtaking as his hospitality projects. Next on, we have architect Seema Puri, principal architect of Seza, a leading architecture and design firm in India. Seema has immense experience in designing homes, be it residential buildings, standalone bungalows, or luxury apartments. And of course, we have Mr. Manoj Verma, who is an industry veteran and has significant work experience in sales, marketing, and operations across top companies in the electrical segment. He's the executive president and COO at the Polycab India and is driving the FMEG market unit to great heights. On that note, I think it's time to kickstart our discussion. And I would like to begin this discussion with the most pertinent question. And this one goes out to you, Sanjay, since you've been designing homes from ground zero and have done so all over the world. We're all getting used to the new normal lifestyle. So in this current scenario, what makes smart automation a necessity? And why do you think we really need automation? Sanjay, that's for you.
Okay, so with what is happening, what we've been witnessing over the last 12 to 15 months, there's been a complete change in the way people work. And there were a lot of people who were resistant to technology, who have now had to embrace it. And in doing so, found out that life is actually so much easier, better, and you have a lot more time to do a lot of other things besides what you're working with, because work has now become that, 80% of it, or all meetings can actually be done virtually, and you can resolve all those problems or discussions that you had to have, and you don't need to physically go out. So it means less amount of travel, it means less amount of all kinds of travel, and more concentrated work time. It's been a huge change. So not just this, there's also now it has become so much easier to actually collaborate with people sitting in various parts of the world to do a single project. So you could have, earlier also we did it, but earlier everything was going by email, coming back by email. There was a lot of lag, and people would actually wait for meetings to happen and be set up and waste 3 to 4 weeks waiting for that to happen. Now it's virtual, so it can happen immediately. So you're sitting with a lighting designer from Amsterdam and you're doing a project in Australia, and the structural engineer is also from Australia, but the MEP consultant is from nearby New Zealand. And all these people are together. The architect is from India, and we're sitting together and doing this thing, and it is actually happening. So one would not have thought that these kind of collaborations would have happened so easily a year ago. So yes, technology plays a huge role and is here to actually shape the way we work and live in the future.
You're absolutely right, Sanjay. I think all of us have to agree. Even having this forum online is testimony to the fact that we can do a lot because of technology. Talking more in the context of smart automation for smart homes, could you tell me how it sort of helps make life easier or better or smoother, the entire process of it, and how you think it kind of impacts a lifestyle?
So home automation, of course, is really makes a huge difference, because in everything from security, which is the most important thing, to the lighting, to the music, to the air conditioning, I mean, it can go a step further, because currently everybody talks about homes only in these aspects. But today you have buildings which are being designed with a large amount of solar panels, and there is this whole switch that can happen. So you immediately change over to the solar energy that you have, you know, gained or stored. So these kind of things also will happen now. So
Absolutely
you're
right.
going to be able to switch energy, and the energy source itself changes, which is something that is way beyond merely automating the way your curtains, blind, lights, music, security, and all of that work. But of course, all these things are very important, because once you have everything automated and you are able to actually log in, see your house from wherever, it makes a huge amount of difference. Today, we actually have live videos streaming from all our sites. So you are able to see exactly what is happening, where it's happening, how it's happening, and when it's happening.
And the control of it
So
is
it's
in your
making a huge
hands.
difference. It's making a huge difference. Yes.
Absolutely. So in fact, I'd like Seema also to answer this question on how smart automation actually helps design, be it like high ceiling or windows or something, function better.
So yeah, if you talk about, see, I would say that anybody who buys a new home, or let's say if you're designing a new home, the homeowner comes to you because you have the expertise, because you have the, you're technologically savvy. He expects you to know all the latest products, all the latest gadgets, and he wants all of those incorporated into his new home. Now, of course, we talk about a lot of general things like a single panel will control your lighting, will set your moods, will definitely control your curtains, will control your AV systems, etc. But all the new homes that we are doing now, and the demand is more and more, we are having, the ceiling heights are going up tremendously, especially in the private villas. Why only private villas? I think a lot of the residential buildings also want to go up to the 14 feet that we can get. Now, which automatically means that you're going to use, since you're talking about using, better products everywhere, naturally you would tend to use, again, a better window system, which would mean that you want to use larger panels of glass, lesser aluminum, and you'd, in most cases, in fact, pretty much all the places that we do it in, we'd want to use a doubly glazed system or a triply glazed system, because you'd want to control the heat gain. You'd also want to put out the noise, which means that each panel or the window system becomes increasingly heavy. And to actually move these very heavy panels manually is pretty much impossible. So, which means that you're going to motorize it. Motorizing means one more remote in your hand and one more remote to handle. And obviously, if the window is so high, the curtains or the drapes which are in front of it are going to be equally high and heavy and very difficult to handle manually. So another remote and another motor. And if you were to automate all this, it just becomes so easy for the end user, to use this efficiently. And not only that, see, it's like you're using every home is bespoke. Everyone wants the most exclusive. So even the fabrics which you're using today, are actually very exclusive, and you don't want your help handling that fabric on a day-to-day basis, that, pulling and tugging at it. So actually, if it's at a touch of a panel, it makes life so much easier and actually increases the life. So it's a very simple, it's a very simplistic way of looking at it, but it goes a long way. And you walk into a room and you just, you press one button, your 20 feet high glazing moves apart, your drapes move apart, just creates a very different kind of setting, a different kind of ambience, and a different kind of luxury, I would say.
Absolutely.
So, that's
in
how
fact, I'm going to come back to you, Seema, because I'd like to know more of the solutions that you've created using smart automation. But what I'd also like to know from Mr. Verma is it true that smart automation also helps save energy and make your homes more energy efficient?
Yeah. Well, very rightfully put, if we can link daylight, as Seema was mentioning, if we can manage curtains, if we can control the daylight coming into the room, thereby linking the artificial lighting to the daylight coming into the room, at the same time not messing around with the ambience created, a ballpark figure, you can save electricity as high as 40% compared to what you are consuming today.
Wow, that's a lot.
Point number one. Point number two, because of manual control, there is excessive usage of electricity for the sheer fact of inertia to go and switch it off.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you have it on your mobile app, the moment you have it via an occupancy sensor, whereby the gadget senses occupancy, thereby decides usage, and consequently switches on or off, this in itself gives about 15 to 18% saving in energy.
Oh,
I can assure you, for a well-designed home, and Seema, you're right, the ceiling heights are going up. Daylight is being captured more and more. As Sanjay was mentioning, solar has become the norm of the day. Now, if I can have an electrical system conventional today, say for example, consuming 100 watts, and if I can make it smart, intelligent, and an experiential solution which is only going to consume 40 watts, imagine the impact it will have on the solar system that you need to have on the rooftop. Thereby also imagine the impact on the storage system that you need on the battery for this solar panel to give you energy pack for as long as 48 hours, even if it is a cloudy sky like it happens in Bombay. So automation is going to open absolutely disruptive frontiers in terms of designers enjoying to do what they want to do, the grid being able to supply more free power to where it is required, and the consumer enjoying the experiences of this entire integration, and if I can say the harmony of everything together, and get what he or she has always been aspiring for.
That's really incredible. It's definitely an eye-opener for me as well. And I think it's really fantastic to know that smart automation can actually save us so much energy. Sumish, do you have something to say about this? You work with a lot of clients, and do they also demand smart automation for their homes? What is it that really clients want, and how you as a designer are able to fulfill this?
First of all, I feel it's become the need of the hour. Automation is no more like an option. I don't think there's any home that we've been lately doing is without an automation. You go back 10, 12 years back, we've got strict instructions from even luxury homes saying, please no automation, do anything else but automation, because automation has to be holistic. It has to have an experience. People have to enjoy doing this. And we've got clients saying, my son will exactly tell you what he wants in his room, and he's just all of 10. And then there is his grandparents who's 80. So for me, it's all about, user-friendly. That's my key thing to all my clients, to everyone. When I say that when you're using something, let's do something that's very, very user-friendly. And that's what I tell all my vendors also. And then there are different systems that you get in it. And there is no limit in an automation. You can do it from the time you're arriving to your place. set your scene, before you enter, the HVAC is on, the mood set, your music's playing, your favorite stuff's playing there. And most important is security. There's a lot of forced entry stuff like that which you can monitor, and people don't realize that it's so part of this whole automation thing, because security is something that you can actually control when you're not at home, you're sitting in some other country and you're watching this whole thing going on. You will only give certain access to your maids, that they can only enter certain areas. All that is possible. So that's what we need to educate our clients and tell them, listen, it's not that complicated and it's a need of the hour. Let's
Are they
get
worrying
this.
otherwise? Or are they very
Yes.
proactive about it? Okay.
Yeah. And then we take them to some experience centers. We showed them, and most of the things are automated. You need to do that before. I don't believe in an afterthought after doing the house and then telling.
I was just about to ask you, at what stage do you introduce automation?
Absolutely. When we finish layout and when we're sitting into designing and electrical, that's the first thing that we talk about. And that's what it should never come as an afterthought, and it's not an accessory. It's not a piece of art or a sculpture, it's something. But these days the clients are very spoiled. They've got so much of options. But I seriously believe in going with a trusted brand. And I won't have the guts trying some new guy out and telling him it's not the price point, it's all about trust. Automation is a lot to do with trust. You need to sync the guy who you're working with and what kind of system it is. Is it a DALI? Is it a face cut? We lately only do a DALI system. I don't. So like Polycab's just got into it. We've known them for years for wires, the most trusted one. Absolutely. So he's got into it. So I'm sure they will do a good job. And others, we've got all our very, very famous brands that are coming, and there are Indian and foreign ones that are collaborating. Yeah. So automation is the future, and it is a necessity.
Absolutely resonate with you, Sumish. And yes, I'm sure Polycab is going to do great with its home product range. So coming to Ram, so Ram, in fact, I think that, they say that a person doesn't really become smart by using a smartphone. He needs to use it smartly to actually benefit out of it. Similarly, and Ram, I want you to answer this. How can we use smart automation smartly to, sort of make our lives easier and better?
So, hi, good evening, everyone. First and foremost, very, very interesting insights from all the panelists. I'll talk about it slightly differently from a development point of view. All the architects and the interior designers, everyone spoke about it, about the home and the experience, and all those things definitely happen in our show apartments. We always do them, and it is the need of the hour, like everyone has said. I don't want to go on repeating that. But as a development standpoint, I think it's truly the need of the hour. From things like sensors in all your common spaces. We've converted even some of our old developments with sensors and automation through the common areas, because that we've seen an overall drop in the maintenance cost when you automate your common spaces. As Sanjay and the other panelists were talking about the solar and connecting the switch on, those things are very, very important as well. So when you say smart, that is the actual smart part of your home automation, is when you can use it in a way to enhance your living experience, yet reduce the load on the entire development and the country and the environment as a whole, because we're all consumers today, and using it in an efficient way is our core responsibility, looking at what's happening around us right now.
Absolutely. I think we've established the fact that home automation definitely helps us reduce the carbon footprint that we have on this. Sanjay, would you like to tell me that, any suggestions on how really smart automation can be used smartly to help achieve the kind of targets, or to save energy, or make sure that, we use it smartly and get the best out of it?
So I think we really covered all that, because between what Seema said, Sumesh said, it's totally been covered. And yes,
do you think
it is. Sorry?
Yeah. Do you think it could probably help, say, people with senior citizens or children, or could you point out various opportunities that we have in terms of being able to utilize smart automation in a way that it helps and makes lives better?
Yeah. So there are two aspects to it. One is that people actually want to use it, but then when they hear the cost involved, then they start thinking two times. But end of the day, it is a one-time cost. And after that, you are actually reducing your cost because, just how all the sensors make a difference. As somebody using the space, the lights come on, the air conditioning comes on. If somebody is not using the space, it doesn't come on. So all of these factors go a long way in reducing the energy consumption of any large project. When it comes to a house, of course, that is not the point. But in a house, like Seema said, there are so many these aspects today. You have 20 feet high glass window, you have 20 feet high curtains, you have a large house, you don't want to have different music systems in every single place. So if you have one single control panel from which you can control everything from the air conditioning to the curtains to the lighting, the moods, it makes a huge amount of difference and it is the way to go.
Absolutely. So tell
I
me,
remember, when we do these homes 10, 15 years back, we used to make these trays to keep remotes, man. So every living room will have 15,
Yeah.
15 remotes, 12 remotes, and it's like
and now it's one
a
iPad.
platter of chocolates, like you have, different remotes, and that's the huge thing lying in your center table. And it's all now disappeared and all. It's just come onto your phone and just one panel. Yeah, that's today's technology.
Touching on to the point that Sanjay said, we've noticed this. So as Mr. Verma also showed, you have the silver, gold, platinum packages. So when we have our show apartments as well, we tell the client that yes, you can go into option 1, option 2, option 3 of complete automation. Over the last 6 to 8 months, we've noticed that most of the clients are going for platinum, which wasn't the case earlier. Earlier, they were saying, no, it's okay. Now that we are less dependent on even staff with everything going on, people have realized the value of the convenience of home automation as well. We've noticed that in our sales trends.
Yeah, I'm sure that, especially the current scenario where, like you mentioned, the domestic help is, people don't want to give a lot in domestic, and they hand over domestic help, and the fact that now it's at a shortage, I think
one very important point that Mr. Verma made, people are very worried about their parents in their homes, if they'll be able to use it or not. So having the dual purpose is very important in any automation, because you don't know if there's a staff at home who doesn't know how to use it, will mess it up in the wrong way. So again, it has to have the manual and the automated. I think that's very important with our Indian lifestyle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I think it's a great thing to add to senior citizen homes as well. Do you guys agree to that?
I think
even have a sensor.
I think, Mr. Verma wanted to say something, yeah? So maybe Seema says and then Mr. Verma.
Ram rightly said, the manual intervention is a need specific to India for the fact that we have elderly parents staying with us and who are not savvy to a mobile or a remote control. So you need that manual. But this apart, one of the features that we have been working on is over a period of 6 months of this home automation getting deployed and using AI, where we clock data, we clock usage, we clock patterns. The mobile is going to be the sensor finally, which is going to tell the system the occupant of the room. For example, if you have a home with 4 occupants with 4 different requirements of the settings, each mobile is going to be the identity of the setting, because the system is going to do data crunching of 6 months of usage of that mobile app and the settings that it has been repeatedly clocking in. So once you have that data, and Ram, once you enter your home and you enter a room, the system is going to sense Ram has entered the room. So let me pull the curtains down. Let me make the lights soft. Let me play Beethoven. Let me have the AC at 22. Everything gets set. So that's the ultimate destination where the system is going to sense your presence and your mood and deliver to you the experience that you're looking for.
So no more training the domestic help. We just need to train the gadget and we're sorted. For
Just
life.
make sure that your children are running around with your gadgets. Things you keep moving in your house.
So is there a limit to the number of gadgets the home can be installed in, or is it unlimited?
Meaning?
This just the total number of gadgets that the home app can be installed in, or one system can be installed in, or can it be done on multiple, as many?
No, you can
possible?
see, you can create a mesh. For example, there is a home with 6 occupants. You can create a configuration of the 6 mobiles with the app therein and specific identities assigned to each mobile app. You can also create a closed niche network where, for the purpose of security and breach, as somebody mentioned, nobody else will be able to log into your network other than you, because you are identifiable by your mobile, by your user ID and password.
Okay, so I think that was one fear that people had about security. So if you've
because the moment I'm going to offer you audio video door phones or IP cameras or smart door locks, unless and until I offer you the security feature in the app and the platform which is specific to you, anybody can operate the smart lock at your door.
Absolutely. In fact, I think we're running out of time, but I have one question more that I need to put forth. Is smart automation more common in metros, or even people in tier 2 and tier 3 cities are adapting to it or opting for it?
Just 1 second. I think Seema wanted to make a point, so we can.
No, that's fine. The question is great. In fact, I wanted to add that, we're just talking about, automation in home, but why are we only restricting the automation to the homes? In fact, all the larger projects that we are doing, where we have maybe, and when I mean larger, I don't necessarily mean the building this thing, but I'm saying, supposing you're making a small scheme of, maybe 8 to 10 villas, or you're even doing a private this thing for somebody where it's a 10-acre farm. We almost insist that you do automation for the entire garden experience, the driveway, etc., because it goes a long way in creating an environment which is not only comfortable, but it's also very easy to use. Because, let's say if you put it on a timer at 7 o'clock, all your landscape lights come out, and then they kind of go off at maybe 9 o'clock. And then you want only your peripheral lighting, which is important for your security, that comes on at 10, and then that again goes off on a timer. And the whole difference it makes to that experience once you enter a project which has everything on automation is something which you cannot even you just can't describe that. All the elevational features which we light up, everything is on automation, because that's how you can control the lux level, and that's how you achieve the perfect setting that you want that structure to be seen in at, let's say, like I said, 6, 7, etc. So let's not limit automation to only using it within the homes. I think it plays a very large and important role on the outsides also. And slowly I find so many clients have got convinced of this, and we've proved to them actually that, the expense it's not that much. In fact, it's so much easier because, you imagine that poor watchman who's walking all across like 10 acres trying to put on lights everywhere. It's virtually impossible for the person. You're sitting at one point, you're just going to put off everything. And not only that, you can actually set those moods, which, like I'm saying, it's just, you can't describe it. And while everyone I know is interestingly saying that it's like 10, 15 years, I'm thinking, we had a client in 1998, Mr. Basu, who I would say was very advanced for his time. And in 1998, when we did his home, that's the first time I used automation, and he insisted that I use it. So we used Retrofit. We used it Retrofit, but it was completely new to me, and I was very, very apprehensive, but it turned out so good. And it kind of introduced us to this whole, this whole vertical of design, which brings so much more to the design.
Absolutely. I think you made a very pertinent point, Seema. In fact, I'd like to ask Sumish, when did you start using automation? Like she said, it was...
So I should take the credit of automation going into every restaurant, and we made it so user-friendly because every restaurant is not like an owner-based. It all depends on the manager. So we used to make a 6 in the evening scene, an 8 o'clock, a 10 o'clock, a 12 o'clock. And for me, lighting can make or break a place, yeah. And especially if you're talking about a lounge, a restaurant, a bar, it needs that mood lighting. I can just go and mess a restaurant by putting full blast light and it looked like something else altogether. So when we used to even do nightclubs, there is a 10 o'clock mode, there is a 12 o'clock mode. And that whole thing is now reflecting in our luxury homes, even when you, as Seema said, talking of the pool, like I would say the poolside area, setting the moods there, your patio, your entrance, and as you entering, it's all sensor based. So, you know, even when you're driving around, everything is just on and sprinklers are on. It's all out in auto. It's all about automation. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So it's not only Bombay. It's in 2 tiers will also soon all have it.
Okay.
As again said, it has to be economical, it has to be user-friendly, hassle-free, and then where people enjoy that whole experience. There shouldn't be where, you know, you get these calls every day. How do you go about and how do you use it? No, that's not the answer. Yeah.
I'm sure.
So
Sanjay, you
Michelle,
present about projects.
Michelle, just like to
sure,
add,
Mr. Mal.
you asked about tier 1, tier 2.
Yes.
Believe you me, we started talking about this portfolio about 40 days ago. In the last 40 days, 80% of the inquiries are from tier 2, tier 3 cities.
Is it?
Oh, nice.
Tremendous.
I mean, we have inquiries from various places in UP and a Jharkhand and a Bihar and a Orissa. You will be surprised. And they are talking of complete end-to-end solutions for home automation. And these are not people, and these are not clients who are making inquiries. These are people who are serious customers who are asking us to give them a bill of material, show them a virtual demo, and they are ready to buy. They are talking of how to get it installed.
Fantastic.
But it is not confined to urban. It has already, this awareness has already moved to tier 2, tier 3.
So I just surfacing, this one very interesting insight, Mr. Verma, that really encouraged me to come and ask you. What do you think is propelling the drive in these small tier 2, tier 3 cities?
See, I'll tell you. I mean, this is something I would talk out of data. If you really see all data in terms of which are the cities that are going to drive economy and the GDP of this country over the next 7 to 10 years, there is a list of 317. And believe you me, 300 of them are tier 2, tier 3. If I tell you Indore is among the top 10 cities that is going to drive the GDP of this country over 7 years, you'll be surprised.
Absolutely.
That is the kind of shift that we are seeing in our business too, that the tier 2, tier 3 are becoming really the playing zones, not really the urban cities.
Is it like we have hit the kind of a plateau in the main cities, or?
No, it's not that. I wouldn't say that. We haven't hit plateau. It's just that the tier 2, tier 3 are growing much faster in aspiration.
And probably more disposable income. Yeah, sorry.
More to develop also.
Yes, true.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would like to, in fact, we've seen most of the developers also moving shifts. Ram, do you also feel in some of your landscape taking a shift here?
So we did explore some different tier 2s and we keep exploring it. But at the end of it, I think most developers realize that their micro markets is the way to go, and their local markets are the strongest that they play with. But having said that, there's a definite demand in the tier 2 aspiration value. So the reason why you see them spending more, one thing that you just said is higher disposable income. Second thing that Seema said is more development because there's more open space. Third thing what Mr. Verma said was definitely that there is an aspiration value to them and they want to take it to the next level.
Absolutely, Sanjay. And let me bring Sanjay very quickly. Sanjay, I've seen your projects in Mathura, Rajasthan, and Lucknow. What is the kind of shift there you see among these discerning clients of yours? Is it a mind shift? Is it the awareness level, or it is something aspirational? Or is it a combination of everything?
So it is a combination of everything, of course. There is a lot more land and a lot more opportunity available there, number one. Number two is people there are equally abreast of everything that is happening in the whole world in terms of technology, in terms of the latest trends and everything, absolutely at par with somebody living in Bombay or Delhi or whatever. So if people in Bombay think that we are the epitome of fashion and all. It's not that way anymore. Every single small city, however small it is, has got that same value, the same amount of awareness, and they all want it. So we've got clients actually coming and saying कि sir, आप ऐसा घर बनाना कि बाद में कोई आके ये नहीं बोले कि इससे भी कुछ better हो सकता था. So this is the kind of the requirement that is coming. So you just imagine. He's saying, I want the absolute. This has happened not one, but in so many cases. I want the absolute in what is the maximum that I can get in terms of technology, in terms of automation, in terms of everything. They want the latest of every single thing. But while we're talking about all this automation, there are so many other things. Like in a hotel today, you have software which allows you to check in on your iPad or on your note. You walk in, there is no interface with the reception. You choose your room. You've already selected it, pre-selected it prior to having come there. You go straight to the room. You scan that only, the barcode on your thing, and it opens the door. So you have everything that you need in that one hotel app. If you were watching X serial on Netflix and you put on the thing there, it registers that you are that user and you want to see it from the next episode onwards. I'm saying we've gone to that level. So the hotel, even if you order something, it will then finally store it as your preference. So you just imagine the staffing in hotels is going down to 1/3 of what it used to be. So why is this happening? With automation. So just think of the manpower that you save and think of the resources that you save, so that the entire cost of running comes down by that much.
Absolutely.
So automation has a long, there are lots of things. It's not just a house.
Many facets.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think hospitality has seen the real advantage. I mean, I've seen brands like Accor, Ibis, Hyatt. They're the first one. And we were like dwelling and, like we like opulence and luxury. We want to see everybody, people running to you, picking your bag. But it is all changing, as rightly said by Sanjay. You just manage, you want your own privacy. All right. I think there are many questions and people, Sumisha, are bothering me on my WhatsApp and all. May I ask Indijit to get some audience question, please? They're chasing me because we just not got there. So Indijit, you're awesome. Yeah.
There are a couple of questions I have picked up. There are many though, but we won't be able to answer all. We can take them offline later. So the first one is directed to Ram. If you can answer this one, this is Rajesh Ganatra from Ahmedabad. He wants to ask, how would home and smart automation actually bring about a change in designing thought process?
Designing thought process.
Repeat one more time. Looks very heavy.
I don't think this is a webinar answer.
No, go ahead. Gentlemen, you're right. A very good question. We will have a prize.
I'll just reiterate it. How would smart automation actually bring about a change in designing thought process?
So I think this is a very, very broad context, right? Designing thought process for an architect and a designer, or from a consumer standpoint, or from which standpoint? So if you're looking at it,
while you are designing, you are thinking of a building, you are thinking of a project,
right?
What's your thought process when you think of home automation?
Is it possible to get this gentleman live, or it's okay? That's right.
So I can answer from our standpoint when we go into a development and look into what all automation can be used. One, definitely sensors being the key factor. The thinking process, reducing manpower in a space is very important. Also, people in today's day they don't want to have that much interaction with people with the whole COVID situation and the future being bleak. So automation, key cards, accesses from different parts of the development, the users that actually when you're buying a house, your entire experience right from your gate all the way up to your apartment, to your video door phone, to your retina displays, to everything. So you got to consider each and everything when you're planning an entire development, especially a luxury development, which has a lot of people, how to minimize touch and how to maximize an experience. I think that will be a very important point, which comes in every little aspect, whether you're designing the drop-off point, the driveway, the main gate, the elevator with the key cards going up all the way into your main doorbell, then the person entering. So it's a very, very wide array of how your design standpoint will keep evolving. And this should keep evolving. And thanks to all the different players coming in India, this will reduce in cost and most developments will take it up.
Absolutely. And I think aesthetically also smart automation makes the space look much better. Like Mr. Verma introduced the switches, which could probably be matched with the marble or the wall. Or
and the timing, all the architecture spoke about timing, right? We also time our buildings, like at this point, the lighting must go on at this point.
Correct.
Because you can't make sure that every building's watchman goes at that point and puts his lobby lighting on, right? Because mostly your lobby lighting, your landscape lighting, your water feature. So the experience totally depends on this going forward. And with COVID, we're reducing manpower everywhere. So it's very important.
Absolutely. Indrajit, you have another question?
More. So this is from Nikita from Chennai. She wants to know from Seema a little detail on how smart automation brings down carbon footprints and how environment benefits from this.
So basically, like we've all said already in the chat, and I'm just going to be repeating it, that if you're using automation, you're basically using everything at a smaller percentage than what it can be used. Okay, let's say, for instance, if I were to break it down into a very simple thing, I'm doing lighting for a certain area and I have a certain mood. Now I have maybe 12 fittings in my ceiling, but if I was to normally put it on and it's a 4-watt LED, it would be running at 4 watts. But if I have it on automation and I have a specific mood for it, and you're not entertaining every day, so your mood setting can be minimal lighting, that light would be at maybe 40% or 60%. So you're not using the entire 4-watt LED, you're using only 60% of that. So automatically that is light saving. Okay, you're saving light, you're saving energy, you're saving your resources. All of this results in a better carbon footprint. You're creating definitely more sustainable spaces. You're taking care of, definitely, again, it's on a timer. So it's not necessarily keep from 7 o'clock in the evening till 12 o'clock it is on because you have forgotten to put it on. And you have a panel, even if you have a 3-level home, you can switch off the lights in any part because you can see it on your panel and you don't have to physically go down. So you can, all of these points help to make it that much more energy efficient.
Absolutely.
I hope you got your answer. This one is from Tushar Kalra, and probably Sanjay, this is for you. He's saying that while we all believe that automation is the need of the hour and health aspect becoming more and more crucial, what are your thoughts on considering indoor environment quality, one of the most important aspects while designing a home?
What is the thought on the indoor what quality?
Indoor environment quality. Probably he wants to know more about indoor air quality. He's written indoor environment quality.
Like this, or I can say is that when you do a design of a place, you have to ensure that you get the maximum amount of cross ventilation that is possible, provided that in that city, in that climate, cross ventilation is a good thing. There are some places where cross ventilation is not such a good thing because it gets in hot air. It depends on where you are. So you need to basically have naturally ventilated spaces and enough natural daylight coming into each part of the structure. Automatically, your environment inside will be a much better environment. And when it is a case of an office or a hotel, then you need to have the new air conditioning systems, which throw in that much more fresh air. And today there are so many other things that have now come today, when you increase the oxygen level, where you reduce the pollutants. So there are a lot of other aspects that you can do for air-conditioned spaces to improve the environment, the indoor air quality.
Thank you, Sanjay. Any more questions in the chat? Do we have time for it, or?
No, I think you.
One more from Dr. Seema. She's directed this to Sumesh. Sumesh, if you can answer this.
Question.
Yeah. Like I know we are running out of time. The other questions we can take it offline.
Yes.
Sumesh, she wants to know, like already we have so much of radiations around us. So having use of such products will, like, are they safe? Like, are they safe for kids? Are they safe for like the elderly?
I won't be able to certify that. I'm not a technician for
I
this.
think Mr. Verma will take it. Yeah, Mr. Verma.
See, one thing, let me assure you, any electrical gadget before it is certified to be published and commercially launched has to go through a full series of tests, verifications, and certificates. Just to give you, for example, in lighting, there was a medical issue of a harmful effect due to ultraviolet. Now, LED has eliminated it because LED is UV free. There is zero mercury. To that extent, it is absolutely safe medically to use LED lighting. Point number one. Point number two, on the indoor air quality, there are processes as ionizers, there are processes as dehumidifiers, there are processes as air purifiers, there are HEPA filters that are getting used in air conditioners and in coolers and in fans. These are all the various aspects of air quality improvement. But yes, as Sumesh very categorically said and Sanjay said, if we know the location where the installation is being done, depending on the direction of the window, the direction of the breeze, you can design air quality improvement systems, which can be either incorporated in the air condition or it can be standalone. So there are enough technologies available to provide clean indoor environment, which is not harmful to either the elderly or to the kids.
That's fantastic, Mr. Verma. And I think we have
We have one more, Sumisha. Just one more.
Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Thank you, guys. Lovely
We're just
Thank
going
you,
to have
everyone.
we just need you for 2 more minutes. We're just going to wrap up the session and announce the winners. I think by now we've established the fact that smart automation is no more just now value, but it definitely has a definite function and something that we all need to eventually accept and use in our day-to-day lives. With that, I come to the end of this session. I'm going to let Indrajit take over and do the Q&A and announce the winners of the competition that Vibhor had announced in the start of the event. And then probably Vibhor can take over and do the vote of thanks.
So bear with me, guys, and people in the audience, how much we love you. So hang around there. Yeah. All right, Indrajit, quick.
It was it's evident that this discussion has been very insightful, and judging from the number of questions that we have been getting, something definitely worth of talking about. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, so we'll have to hold on to the questions, and maybe we can connect with our viewers offline, and they can send us the questions. And now it's time for the contest we all have been waiting for, and this is how we are going to play it. I'm going to ask a question, and you can respond in the chat window below you. You will get around 15 seconds to answer each question. The first person who gives the right answer will win the hamper. To give more people the opportunity to win, only one prize per person will be allowed. So here we go. Can we have the first questions coming up? This is your first question. Your existing non-smart appliance device can be made smart device through which home product?
Oh.
You can answer this through your chat.
We're getting a lot of responses, Indrajit.
Okay, go ahead with the next.
Yeah, let's go for the second. We'll announce the winners at the end.
Yeah, next one.
Let's do question number 2.
We have the question number 2. Yeah.
Wow.
Home smart automation solution package for 1 BHK starts from.
That was really quick.
People are
fantastic.
That was really quick.
So super, guys, super.
Okay, third question.
Really amazing.
One, please. Smart automation by Polycab is designed, developed, and manufactured in which country? This is the easiest one.
Oh, wow. We got it. Move next. Oh, I love this.
My God.
Indrajit next. Amrita next.
For false questions. home smart automation product portfolio includes fans and appliances, lighting switches and accessories, IR blasters and smart plugs. Is it true or false?
That's the simplest.
That's the simplest.
Fantastic.
Very
think
well
you've got-
curated questions, Sumisha and Polycab. Yeah. All right.
While our team processes the winners, I'd like to invite Vibhor to make the vote of thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, a very big warm, I really can't thank you enough for audience. At this point of time to stay with so many big numbers and stay alive and, listening to us, it's a testimony of fact that I really enjoyed the session. A big thanks to our eminent panel. I think everybody, Seema, Sumish, Sanjay, Ram, for the ones that you've been fabulous. Mr. Manoj Verma, I can't thank you enough for educating us. And of course, unanimously, I think everybody agrees. And I personally believe that the country is safe in terms of the landscape and design because we've got great designers here and great brands like Polycab and great developers like young ones like Ram. And more importantly, people like us in media will make sure that, we really communicate to length and breadth of this country about what are the big things that one can really avail from doing the, smart home automation. And I think it's absolute privilege to be here listening to each one of you. And I think audience, I know really, and there are 99 plus, I'm telling you, this is so heartwarming to see you, because there has been so many webinars happening. And at this point of time, seeing 99 people asking questions, 15 right now active and not all been answered, Sumisha, please make sure rest of the team behind, Indijit and everybody, that we reach out to each and everybody who has given their valuable time this evening to be with us. So a very, very big thanks to once again, Polycab. I think everybody, there's a lot of people who have worked together tirelessly to co-create this meaningful, credible, and knowledge-based platform, which allows knowledge sharing at the highest level. And Mr. Verma, thank you very much once again for giving us ITP Media this opportunity. We believe as a media house, it is our objective and a first important duty to bring content which is so engaging, so relevant, so contemporary, and so very useful for every viewer out there. Do we have an answer or do I keep talking? I was giving you guys.
Thank you so much, Vibhor. Thank you for your vote of thanks.
No, Sumesh, thanks a ton. Everybody,
Thank
Ram,
you,
Sanjay.
thank you.
Can we just quickly announce in front of our lovely panel the winners, please?
The four winners.
The
Names,
four winners.
Amrita?
Do we have anybody, Amrita, Shivali, Smriti, anybody? Listen, I think we are.
Allow us a minute. We are pulling out the winners.
Okay.
All right. So, I think we have winners here. And I think we have the ladies behind working, trying to make sure that we announce the right winner. So, it has been fraction of seconds, multiple people answered. Yeah. So we really don't want to disappoint you. And I know Polycab and Mr. Verma has a big heart. Should there be a tie, we will insist for two winners. Yeah. Okay, ladies behind, do we have an answer, please? Oh.
Yes, we do.
Go ahead.
So
that's Amrita. Please go ahead.
The first winner for the first question is Rajkumar Agarwal.
Congratulations, Raj.
Congratulations.
Winner for the second question is Ketan Shah.
Okay.
And winner for third is Shine Pothin. And winner for this fourth question is Tejas Patel.
Super.
Fantastic.
Can we have that slide where they can
Yes.
connect with? And so all four of you, once again, a big congratulations. And thank you, Sanjay. Thank you, Sumesh. Thank you, Seema. Thank you, Mr. Verma. Thank you, Ram. And thank you for
Thanks,
wonderful.
guys.
And
Thank
you.
Thank
stay
you.
safe,
Thank you.
stay well.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And
Bye.
I just switched off my video. So this is what happens with
Thank you.
technologists. Thank you. Thank you. Lovely seeing you all together this
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Nilesh.
Madhu.
Thank you. Bye for now. And see you soon. We have another one coming up in June, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Bye-bye.